Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper, and on this beautiful fall day, by the grace of Most High Yah, I am alive and well and here to tell you that Donald Trump is your president, and I called it before that he was elected. You can check in the link in the video description below. I told you in my spirit I felt he was going to be elected. I told you why I felt that. I told you how I felt about a lot of things to come, and in this video today I'm going to kind of build on that, and I'm going to tell you exactly now where my mind has settled out that the next 4 years are going to look like, at least under his tenure. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's not a very bright future, so just go ahead and buckle up today for the ride. I'm not one of these people to sit here and tell you, I told you so. I find it so intriguing in these last days that there's all these people out here that claim to be prophets and to have some insight and some forbearance and knowledge on things. And you know, I don't claim to be a prophet. I don't claim to know it all. I would claim to be a wise man in these last days, and I feel like that I have told people many things throughout the past, I think 13 years, 14 years, been on YouTube. I'm honest to goodness cannot keep it all straight how many years it is now, and I apologize. I'm going to have to really add that up one day, get back caught up. But anyway, here we are, and I've told you this, and once again, what I told you I believed would take place is took place, and then I believe the following things I'm about to tell you is going to continue to take place right down the line, and we need to be prepared against it. To begin with, Trump said that we're going to be entering, a golden age, right? And all I could think of when I heard that was golden calf. And I know I'm going to trigger friends and family and subscribers that are Trump supporters. I don't know if I'm going to trigger Harris supporters at this point because they're in a state of mourning still, which she's just a vile person. They're both very, very detestable people to me by the things that they've done. And I will break this down in no particular order, all these things, and give proof and statistical data and things that you can go look for yourself and see if these things be so. And I'll try to put some screen grabs up here too along the way too to back up what I'm saying, so that there's no doubt left other than just your feelings being hurt at that point. But I'm a libertarian. You know, when it comes to Constitution, I want people to have freedoms and the right to life and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I've went over this many, many times. So if you don't know who I am, go watch my other videos. This is not about that today. But to be on point, Donald Trump said, you know, here we are entering a golden age for America. Well, I feel like it's the time of setting up of a golden calf. That's all I could think of in my spirit, my discernment. That's the first thing come to me. And, you know, I said he'd win by a landslide, and old boy won by a landslide. I mean, not like a complete and total, like, wipe a ski lodge town out kind of avalanche landslide, but nevertheless a landslide where you're going to have to get like a D7 dozer out there, some wheel loaders, and a uke truck and clean the mess up. Like, it was a good landslide. All right, and that map was pretty much red all over. How that the little tiny blue specks in the country that can add up to almost the same as the red is insane to me. And yes, I know they're cities, and yes, I know they're high population density areas, but still, it eludes my mind that that's possible. But once again, don't care about the politics. But I noticed a week before Trump was going to be elected, I seen the news start shifting gears. And, you know, I was just like, man, this is crazy. I'm like, this is going to go down this way. And, you know, my spirit's at peace today, not because Trump was elected, but just because this is over, because I know what direction we're going, because I didn't know if the suffering that was going to come instant or if it was going to come metered out. And I'm like, okay, thank you, Father in heaven. It's going to be metered out, because I still got moments to prepare. Where I'm sitting literally right now, physically sitting here, out of all places I could sit on the farm, is where the electric needs to come from my utility building here, my substation I built, up to my home. Like, by the grace of y'all, I hope there's wire in the ground in 6 months from now. There's the water, the rest of the fencing, the rest of the livestock, all these things, all these final punch list checkbox items are done. And yes, I know all this can fall apart whenever the time comes, but I'm not just going to sit here and do nothing, right? That's not the way Luke's built, okay? So, you know, I'm thankful that we know that, because then that like I said, that gave me a measure of peace what I'm dealing with, because I was like, okay, the next morning I wake up, Kamala Harris is president, then I know it's in a communist nation. We're immediately a communist nation overnight. Prepare for suffering immediately. And so it's not the case. But people went on about, choosing the lesser of two evils and, all this stuff. And I'm like, that's never my mentality, to choose the lesser of two evils. I want to choose what is right and do that, and only that. I don't want to sin anymore, guys. Like, I've done a lot of stupid stuff in my life. I've sinned a lot in my life, and I know my sins may be so small in comparison to other people's many, many sins, but nevertheless, we all need Messiah and salvation in order to enter the kingdom. And, when I think about the lesser of two evil thing, I'm like, it just so much further reiterates the Albert Pike letter, which I will put a link in the video description below. Excuse me, guys. Ragweed or something around here still holding on. Is that, where that you can see that this whole situation is induced, where that things get so bad that they can deliver up them a savior to clean this mess up. And I expect, honestly, my next feeling is that the next years ahead are going to be immensely peaceful, and it's going to be a false peace, because the reason I say it's a false peace is when it really does pop off. I mean, when things get bad, it's going to be a worldwide feel of get bad. You're going to feel it everywhere. Like, I just really feel this is the following things to come. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I've just had so many feelings in my spirit this year. I had feeling downsized where I, work part-time. That happened. I had a feeling when my dad had another stroke. I was like, this is the last. This is he's going to die. And I went to the hospital, told him I loved him, and sure enough, just a few months later, he passed away. And this, I had this feeling about election, and then here Trump got elected, and it's just, guys, I'm telling you, I just get these. I'm dreaming more than I ever have before, and it's just wild. It is really wild, the dynamic that has been shifting in my life personally. But anyway, like I said, with the Albert Pike letter and all that I warned people that this is just like running that gambit on that perfectly right now, is that it's just setting up a huge precedent for a separation of wheat and tares. Like, you can really start seeing the shifting and the sifting of the wheat and tares and the elect and all this. And if you're a Hebrew Israelite listening to me right now that loves the Most High Yah, and you're seed of Abraham, and you can just fill that out from just Curse of Deuteronomy 28 and all that too these days, is that pray for me that I make it in the kingdom, because especially if you really love Yah, if you want to be a light to the nations, if you really want to be His people, the priests and kings of the world to come, help the Gentiles and pray for them and be a light to them. Because I'm going to tell you, the people, my people that I've come from, which I consider the seed of Japheth, but even these people that people look down that are Edomites and Esau and all this stuff people carry on about. Pray for the world, pray for people that they can come to light, because I'm telling you, there is so many people out here that this hour, this season, this is the hour of awakening. If people's going to wake up, if it's not now, I don't think they ever will. Because you can just see the writing on the wall, from River Euphrates drying up to just all these things. And even if you view the Mississippi River as the true River Euphrates, and this is the true ancient land, and that's another discussion for another time. I mean, even it's been brought up, it's drying up. There's just so many things, folks. And this is an hour that you just remember Luke, that to pray for me that I can be remembered in the kingdom. When the Master opens up that book of remembrance and our names are in it, I hope my name is inscribed in it, and that I may live to see the new kingdom and be part of it, because this is just getting wild out here. And if this is the one life that many have to live, what a sad life it is. And I just don't want to repeat this. I don't want to be in a world that's repetitive of this. I look forward to the new age where there'll be peace. But moving forward, staying on point, with Trump and such. But just we need to all pray for each other. I pray that people listen to this. Father, y'all, please save them, and please save me, because I'm telling you guys, it's just a huge season of wake up for all of us. And and forgive me a sinner, but the multiple occurrences that I've seen with Trump with Epstein. Okay, people get so unhinged with me when I bring up this. They're like, it's like, Trump said, I best I can quote, he said that he knew of Epstein, but he didn't like physically know him. But I literally done this morning. I tested this. I sat down and I took my phone and I hit on Google. I was like, Trump pictures with Epstein. And it literally was a collage of multiple occasions. I mean, many. When I say, I'm not talking like 2 times. I'm talking a bunch of times where they're together. And buddy, they're together like friends. Okay? That to me, that ain't just knowing of somebody. That is knowing somebody. There's knowing of, and then there's knowing. So you make sure and get your facts straight on that too. Because you can fact check anybody on that. I can Google that in a minute. And I told my wife today, I said, I've got to make sure and double check myself before I go out here and be a liar to people. Because I want to make sure that my story is straight. And I was like, boy, that took the least amount of effort I've ever had to do on something in a long time. I was like, man, I was right like that. And matter of fact, there was more occurrences than I even knew of. And so I was just like, this is nuts. I'm like, moving on. You know what I'm saying? But there's that part. So, you know, you're dealing with a liar at that point, you know. And, you know, the one that really gets me moving forward, you know, that you're going to probably see starting coming rearing its ugly head too, is that, you know, the support of Trump toward the no hide laws. And, you know, talks about those that'll be beheaded for the witness of Messiah. And I'm like, how, you know, I just keep leaning toward Islam on that. And then also, you know, I'm like, you know, radicalized Judaism going wild out there. How does this all amalgamate together? And then, you know, you look at the people that so-called Jews today, you know, Ashkenazis, and you see, you know, who they really are, you know, like if we want to go down that Edomite thing and all these conversations. And I'm trying to say this without racism injected and stuff today, you know, and talk in generalizations. And then, you know, you see like Trump's shaking of hands with Saudi Arabia, you know, Esau and all them, and Islam and sons of Ishmael, and the blending of the Arabs and all that. And you see, you know, him bringing Musk in, and the pushing of AI, and that was another check mark. I mean, you know, when you start checking the boxes of why will this man be president, one of them was the push for AI. You know, like right there, Musk, AI in the background, in the cabinet. I'm like, okay, you got that. And then, you know, the whole disclosure of aliens thing, and then there's already some more of it with the government. There was a paper submitted the other day. I believe it was for senators and for political officials to, you know, put their information in for, you know, UFO disclosure, alien stuff and all that. So, I mean, you have that to look forward to in the years ahead is the joining hands, I'm sure, with Islam and the Middle East, you know, and the Middle East and the Accords and all that stuff, and, you know, no hide laws and aliens and AI. You know, this just don't not look at this, because it's coming. And then on top of that, you know, you got the way the delivery. You know, one thing I will applaud is the delivery of Trump. Is when he lies, or whenever he wants you to absorb something, like he does this sailing thing that I swear, like if I went to work for a friend of mine and timeshare or something, I think I honestly would adopt Trump's mannerisms with like the delivery of sales, is because I'd be like, listen, you want this timeshare because you want time with your family. Time is the one luxury that is also an expense that you'll never get back. And you're borrowing against that. So if you're going to borrow against something here at this Hilton timeshare, because today you can make your dreams a reality for the future by investing in this product, because you want this. You know you want this, because this is so good. And you see what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to sell products on Sabbath. I'm just saying, like, there's this way this guy talks, and it's like infectious and deceiving at the same time. I don't know how to put it. Like I said, I used to admire the guy, and nowadays I see this stuff for what it is. Like, it's great used car sales. But anyway, there's going to be so many opportunities of deception come up that it's going to be sold so well to the American public and to the Christians out there abroad that they're not going to see the fleecing and the wool pulled over them until it's like too late. And, you know, this universal basic income setup, you know, you can look for that coming in the 15-minute cities. I mean, like, you know, they just washed out Tampa with the weather warfare, so they'll Tampa, I would imagine, will probably be the first poster child, 15-minute city, and then they'll work their way from there. Because I don't think, I would say Chicago would be my next, but if I was going to do the 15-minute city thing, I wouldn't start anywhere that is like a liberal or democratic stronghold, because like pretty much those people are subservient to the government anyway. Like, you want to start with the libertarians and the so-called Republicans and people like that. You want to debase them first, and so I would focus my cities and 15-minute cities and my New World Orderism there first, and then perpetuate this, in the places that's obviously politically leaning toward what the government agenda wants anyway. And then lastly, the things that I think bother me the worst, and I've saved absolutely this one for last for sure, is that the issue end day blue laws. The return to Christianity, the return to God, the Palm Pay at Whole Foods, all the AI tech, the mark, all this coming, and of course Stabby Jabby 2.0 and the lockdown 2.0. I mean, Operation Warp Speed that was done. You just wait till it goes to Warp 9 Star Trek mode here in the future. Like, this is the things you have to look forward to under a Trump presidency. And so I'll just tell you this, there's this false reassurance, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep doing this state. Like, it's just, I don't know how to reinforce that this is just not correct, right? Is that this false assurance, this false sense of peace that, in the next couple years, while all these little chess pieces are being moved in place now, the delivery of the New World Order is well packaged and manufactured and going to be delivered, that you need to be doing you as fast as possible, because what's to come is going to rear its ugly head. And when it finally does, the shock and awe is going to be interesting to me, because I imagine that feeling of that day when it comes will be like the day I was sitting in the airport in California waiting for a flight home from a job site, and I seen like the zombie apocalypse taking place, with Corona and all that the first time, and the lockdown starting and all that. I imagine that'll be that very sickening feeling I have, that it's like, this is what I have to deal with next. I feel like that will be that feeling in that day, but that day ain't today, praise y'all. So guys, take the season that we're in, prepare, get ready. The next 4 years should make for a very interesting roller coaster ride, as that you're going up the chain link thing right now, and it's just slow and steady, slow and steady, slow and steady, and then finally, when you crescendo over the top one day and that crest is made, it's going to be wild. So get ready out there. So guys, as always, till we see you again here, 7 Trump's Prepper Channel. I hope Most High Yah baruch you and keep you, make his face shine upon you, show you favor, and give you shalom, my friends, and love y'all in Yahushua name.